Now we're at Body Tune-Up in Stockton, California, and Amber's on the table and she's working with me. We're doing reflexology. What I want to share with you is that I've been doing reflexology for a really long time, so I want to show you some things that you may not know from reflexology, particularly from books and little 5-hour courses. So the first part is in the feet, and that's an imitation of the body. And today I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to show you that the limitations of the feet mirror the limitations of the body. So, and then I'm going to do a small treatment phase, and we're going to do this all in a little bit of time for YouTube. And I'm going to start out by saying that the body's mirroring on the feet is very exact. And you get that through what I call the feedback loop. So I'm going to come over and check the feet. And when I come over and check the feet here, I'm going to say half a body is on each foot. And the neck is the stem of the big toe. The outside stem of the toe here is the lateral side of the neck. And the back of the big toe here is the back of the neck. And the front of the big toe here is the throat. That's getting that okay? We're doing good? Cool. So if I was to show you a mirroring here, I would move the toe to the medial line. Has a certain width and length it goes. The other side here goes easier and opens more. So in theory, this side of the neck over here is tighter. So what I'm going to do is do the very similar thing here. If I move the big toe over, then I'm going to move her little neck over. It's going to go this far. Now that's pretty flexible. Not too many people get that much flexibility. So then it turns into a strain pattern here. And at that point there, I'll come back to the center line. Technically this side's freer. Let's see if that applies. And yeah, that pretty much applies. I'm still giving it credence. It gets way far over, and the tissue on the side's malleable and stretching. So in theory we have a correct assessment. What's more fun is to get treatment. So I'm going to come back here and just work the side. I've got some different applications of touch. I've got mobilization of the tissue, the way it stretches to open that tissue up. I've got a 4-pattern release. These are in my different reflexology classes, 1 and 2. And then there it goes. That release and opened. Nice and soft. Giving it a further movement here. I'm noticing it goes down into the back too, but I'm going to come up on that in a little bit. So at this moment, that's more open. We've already established this side is free. So I'm going to come over here and check my assessment. There we go. That is the tight side, right? That was tight side? Okay, because sometimes I'm like, doo-doo-doo. So now we have this whole area open. Okay, so now the back of the foot, it represents the back of the body along the spine. So I found that if I take both parts and stretch, it won't give me a clear assessment. So in theory, I'm going to come back to the feet and show you something. In theory, when I take and stretch the toe forward, it gives a certain tension in along the spine on the back side. And this one's more open for the 2 feet right now. And particularly it's tight down into this area here, which is her middle rib cage, versus this foot. So my feedback loop is checking one foot against the other because they only relate to Tamra, her feet. They're not somebody else's feet ever, so I can't apply this assessment exactly to every person the same. Alright, so I'm going to come up here. Since both of them doesn't give me a clear line of assessment, I'm going to take and turn. So the way her head's going here, I'm going to take and work this open. Now she's helping me. If we can, we want to relaxed state, more relaxed state. Let me leave the driving to me for this moment. Alright, I'm just going to kind of come up. There it is. It locks about right there. And you feel that travel down your back at all? Okay. Cool. Now I'm going to come over here, down the other side of the back. Yes, now don't help me though, honey. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just come up with it. Still passive. It's called passive or static stretching in physical therapy. There we've got a clean line. So I know that something's going down on this side of her back. If I came back here and I was playing the game of touch and motion, this is the upper back where the shoulder is, and this goes down into the rib cage, about right there, and it has a hardness in the foot. And if I came back here, I'll check the good side first. A lot of my clients go, that's not the side that hurts. So I want to get my hands to get some feeling on what's up. So in theory then, this is a mobility, I felt it. And over here, per the foot, I'm going to check right in here. Ah, yes, we have a nice spasming hard spot, yes? Mm-hmm. Right there. Okay, I'll pay you later. Mm-hmm. But that's for real, I'm just teasing. So this part of the rib cage is tighter. What's really cool about appropriate reflexology of treatment phase, meaning I come down and I start applying the angles of mobility that I need, there it goes, it already opened. Of course, I've been doing this for a very long time, but still, if somebody did something incorrectly for 30 years, they would still do it incorrectly. So somewhere in there I've gotten better by practice. That's a note to all my students and people in the world of practicing. This is fun. There's no cracks or crevices, anything that's painful. You can't, there it goes, you can or don't have to use oil. So I've got more open here and more open there and more mobility in the foot. And I'm going to come down and check this out here. Let's see how this works. Here we go. So that's a lot more open. And from the front, there's mobility in the spine, rib cage zone. And underneath here, there's wow, that's even impressive to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice mobility of the rib cage. And that's a treatment through the foot. Okay, here's our next move. We're going to go ahead and do some moves that have to do with the arms. The arm is considered the outside part of the foot. So I'll check the feet first. So front of the foot is front of the body facing towards me. So I've got the arm here. I'm just going to stretch the shoulder back this way. And I'm going to stretch the shoulder back this way. This one's a lot more mobile to stretch back. So getting with the time of this, I'm just going to say nice and soft, open treatment phase. Looks good, but the chest rib cage is tight there, even though the arm is open. So what I'm going to do here is just check the pad. It's got a callus. I'm going to go ahead and stretch the condyles or attachments. There it goes. It just mobilized and opened. And I'm going to come back here. And now that's open, yes? Mm-hmm. And this place here is already open, so now that stretch is open. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. I'm not sure, I didn't pit the two against each other, but I'm going to come over. And this has a hard nodule, and going into the attachment here, it gets softer. So I know she's had a seatbelt injury. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. If something is, this is the same way in sports massage. If something's hard on the outside, when you go in, it gets softer. That means the injury's from the outside. If something's soft on the outside and you go in and it gets harder, that means something tore on the inside. Now it's healed. So we're just looking for something to work on, like safe crafter fingers for textural sensory. We're looking for inside or outside displacement. So the outside knuckle with a softening when it goes in means there's hard tissue on the outside. So I'm going to come around here and check it out. And in this place here, there's almost no range of motion. It doesn't open like a joint separating. It pulls right from here. So this is opening. I could treat it from the shoulder arm. Lots of moves to do that, but for right now, I'm just going to do this, and I apologize. It's just going to look like a bunch of wiggling, but I got to mobilize this. That's the shoulder, that's the rib cage, that's the back, that's a twirl around, that's the arm. Foot starts to perspire with the autonomic nervous system. Come down, mobilize one bone. There we go. And believe it or not, that's going to be open. Now, to get that open is probably 10, 12, 20, 30,000. I opened it one session for free. Really. So you could either charge $0 for your treatment or $300 an hour or $100 an hour. I'm not trying to sell that on you, but I often do things so easily people go, oh yeah. Well, and I used to call those countryside techniques. They were just really easy. going moves the way we learned it. And so now it's open. You can see this is stretched open. The head of the humerus is coming out. Yes, you could get other treatment phase with other parts, but that's our demonstration for that right now. So right now, let's just mobilize for the back of the shoulder over. You get that much freedom. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and mobilize this shoulder. It's got less freedom. It's got structural hardening in the back of the shoulder. So the back shoulder is represented here. So if I went ahead and rounded that, it gets that much opening. And if I was to round this one, it gets a lot less opening. So if I went ahead and worked this, mobilize that knuckle, stretch that around, I have to breathe easy, not really be talking to do the better treatment on my client. Coming up, opening, getting a nice release on that. That may or may not be enough. That's good, but I think the ribs are involved and possibly along the heads of the spine. So I need to come to that part that's here. And since that's the upper area, the spine is in this area, neck, thoracic, the lumbar. So if I was to come along here and move this, yes, her foot placement here is hard. The pad of the foot, this is not quite what we're doing now. A pad of the foot means she pronates. She moves her foot out when she runs. Is that correct? Okay. So if I was to take and open this rib cage, sternum up here, and spine, and come across here to a bone, do the cuboid bone it's called. Just a small mobilization there, not like chiropractic or anything. And then I went up here to this tendon attachment, work these 2 points, which is part of reflexology for us. And then I'm going to go ahead and open this. There it goes. Foot opens, releases, breathing. What was that move? Oh yeah, good, this is the move. I'm going to get involved in treatment, I forget. Okay, there we go. So I'm just letting that go over. That also has more opening. This is all from Reflex 1. Reflex 2 is